who helped the witches in their spell casting. And the most popular kind of familiar was the cat, and particularly black cats. And black cats came to be so feared that people would actually kill them for fear that they were associated with witches. And so over the years, in the popular culture and the popular imagination, black cats came to be associated with witches and thus with Halloween.
Oh, bad luck.
Very, very bad luck. There are superstitions. If a black cat crosses your path, that means bad luck. Why? Because there might be a witch coming right behind.
There was a story I was reading once, like a fairy tale story. And one of the stories is this lady at night, back like in the colonial days, she was sitting in front of the fireplace, and she was living alone, and she was just sitting at home, and her cat, you know how your cat or your dog will kind of like look at the door or the window? And it spooked her so much she like jumped out of her chair and went running to the window to see if anything was there. But it's just one of those stories that, you know, that a cat can scare you like that if they kind of like get their ears perked up and look towards the window or the door, and they think they hear a noise, but really nothing's there, you know.
Well, there's all kinds of beliefs that animals are more sensitive to the supernatural world than humans are, and they will sense the presence of what we cannot see. But with, again, going back to village women of the 16th and 17th century, if an old woman is living alone, of course she'll have a cat.
Yes.
I mean, just like
I
today.
love cats. They're comforting.
Yes.
Animals are very comforting. Dogs, cats, they're known for lowering your blood pressure, actually. So, yes, I love having a cat.
But we do know that witches were accused of having other animal familiars, rats or toads. Toads, particularly. Shakespeare mentions toads with the witches in Macbeth. And cats.
And that's how they got their warts, right, from the toads.
Right. Another old belief.
Yeah.
But there was a sad case in 17th century New England where a woman was suspected of being a witch, and they put her in a room, an empty room, and they said they left the door open, and they said if any animal came in, then this was proof she was a witch because it was her familiar coming to her. Well, if you leave the door open, your cat is going to come in.
Yeah. That's kind of sad, though, you know.
It's very sad.
I'm so glad that we're not living in those days.
Me too, because I would have been out of luck, I'm sure.
Me too.
I'm sure.
I love cats.
Yeah. And
I love, you know, feed the birds.
Older women living alone, we're out of luck.
Yeah.
But what I thought you were going to say is that it's important for people to know that many of the comic things that we associate with Halloween, funny witches and funny costumes and funny stories about Halloween, really do have this very dark and sad ancestry.
Yes. I remember one Halloween, I love to, you know, see the kids trick-or-treating at Halloween, and I just wanted to share this one day. The doorbell rang on Halloween, and I go downstairs to give them some candy bars, and all I could see are two pointy little hats right at the window, because the wood came up paneling about up to here. And there's two little pointy hats, and they were so cute. You know, and I look over, they were adorable. You know,
well,
happy Halloween, you know, trick or treat.
Once upon a time, that is when we were kids, Halloween was a children's holiday.
Yes.
But when our generation got older, we liked it so much that we turned it into a grown-up holiday, and now it's one of the biggest drinking holidays, and you know, the people decorate their houses and they spend millions of dollars on candy and decorations.
Costume contests.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're having a tour, a Halloween tour, right?
Yes,
Of the
yes, we coincide it with Halloween, even though, to be honest, it really has nothing to do with Halloween.
Yeah.
During the Walktober month, the Norwich Historical Society sponsors many history walks around Norwich. But our most popular one is an evening tour through the ancient colonial burial ground in Norwich Town. And we call it Ancient Ghosts of Norwich Town. And we tell stories, but as far as we can make them, they are either history or folklore. They're as true as we can make them, but people love a good scare, and so
Is that in the evening? And what's the date of that
it's
tour?
Friday night, October 25th. There are 3 tours leaving at 6:40, 7, and 7:20 from the Green.
Okay.
And you need to register in advance. So you need to go to the Norwich Historical Society website. I don't know how many tickets are left, but not many. So each group is limited in its size, and we try to give everyone as good an experience as possible by keeping the crowds down.
Yes. And David Oat has a tour too, right?
Yes, David
Historian
Oat has a daytime historical stroll through the Yantic Cemetery this weekend. I think that it's Saturday. I think it's Saturday, October 5th,
Okay.
but I wouldn't swear to it. Again, if you go to the Norwich Historical Society website, it's on there.
Okay. All right. So to change the subject a little, well, it's still about witches. Wicca is people that practice Wicca. Is that the same as the type of witchcraft that we were talking about, back in the colonial days?
Not at all. Wicca is, as some people have said, the most popular religion that originated in the 20th century. Practitioners will not be happy because they trace their ancestry back to ancient pre-Christian pagan worship. But really, it's a revival of ancient pre-Christian worship as interpreted through, 20th century ideas and research and folklore. Wicca is actually a mispronunciation. It's the ancient Anglo-Saxon Old English word. It's spelled W-I-C-C-A. It's pronounced witch. It is.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh.
It is pronounced witch. That final
Okay.
A is silent. And but they wanted to differentiate themselves from the popular culture idea of witchcraft by going back to this old word and basically mispronouncing it.
Do they have meetings?
Yes, because when I say that it is the most popular religion that originated in the 20th century, there are as many different kinds of neo-pagans, another term for these practitioners, as there are, more maybe than there are Protestant denominations.
Really?
Yes, it runs the gamut from those who revive ancient Celtic traditions, which is probably the largest group, to those who revive ancient Norse traditions. There are those who worship the mother goddess as Gaia, the earth. In general, though, it's a religion characterized by many gods, that is polytheistic, by an emphasis on the female aspect of the godhead, that is called the mother goddess or the maiden.
Mother Nature.
Yes, Mother Nature, maiden, mother, and crone. They say that the crone aspect of the goddess is what turned into that Christianity took that as the archetype for the witch. It's very female-centric.
So this dates back centuries.
Well, yes, but not in its current form.
Okay, yes.
So in its current form, there are meetings that might be called covens. That the term coven was used in the witch trials for the groups. They saw a conspiracy of witches who would get together and perform what was called maleficia. Maleficia means evil doing.
Oh, okay.
It's where Maleficent got her name, the Disney bad fairy Maleficent.
Yes.
Maleficia, evil
what
doing.
movie was that?
Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. It's about to come out in a couple of weeks. It's a sequel to the
Disney
original
movie?
Disney's Maleficent.
Oh.
She was the bad fairy in Sleeping Beauty.
Okay, yes.
And when you think of her costume with she's got horns on her head and wears all black and looks very much like the way witches were feared to be. Well, modern day Wicca or neo-paganism or mother goddess worship is totally different. It is earth-centric, ecologically minded. The worship might or might not include spells, but the spells are not curses, they're prayers and blessings. In fact, modern day Wicca practitioners would tell you that prayer is prayer. Prayers are spells. So you're praying, putting into words, trying to influence the universe.
Like the use of positive thoughts.
Yes.
Or sending out supplications of...
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Praying for someone, or that's interesting.
But they do observe many do observe the old Celtic calendar, and so the old Celtic word for Halloween was Samhain, spelled Samhain, but pronounced Samhain. And so it is a big festival, and so is May Eve and May Day, which they celebrate as New Year's Day, as the ancient Celts did.
Okay. Now, your book, just in case the readers are interested and would like to read your book, they can get a copy at the local library.
Yes, New England's Gothic literature, history, and folklore of the supernatural is available at libraries. If it's not at your local library, they can get it through interlibrary loan. This paperback edition of it is available on Amazon for a ridiculously inflated price. Don't pay it. You can go to its publisher, the Edwin Mellen Press, where it is on sale for what still seems like an inflated price, but at least is more reasonable.
Okay. All right. Thank you for joining me today. It was very interesting. Thank you for watching my show, and I wish everyone a safe and happy Halloween. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.